Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and these are the upcoming campaigns for July. The upcoming crowdfunding campaigns on Gamefound, on Backkit, and on Kickstarter. We're going to be going into all of these as usual, links down below. Although I think it will be a shorter video than usual. We don't have all that many, maybe 15 campaigns to highlight, which is a good time for my usual reminder to make sure to go ahead and subscribe to Shelf Clutter. Shelf Clutter covers these upcoming campaigns every single week. Every single Sunday, he has a list of the upcoming campaigns, which is particularly relevant because of all the changes, all the additions, the change dates, the cancellations, whatever it is, and he covers more campaigns as well. The nature of this video is because I do it once a month, I try to focus on the campaigns that already have a little bit more buzz or attention or followers or audience to them, and Shelf Clutter, because he's doing these every single week, tends to have more of the campaigns. So if you're looking for the most up-to-date and the most comprehensive coverage, I highly recommend staying subscribed or subscribing to Shelf Clutter for his weekly videos on the upcoming crowdfunding campaigns. But with that, let's go and starting off with Tales Are Real Legacy, coming July 1st or so, I think July 1st, from Richard Heinrich. This is going to be an expandable fantasy duel game over here. Basically a two-player head-to-head game. It's a two-player head-to-head collectible system, but not really collectible, a collectible adjacent system that you're going to get all of it in one box or whatnot, in a two-player head-to-head system with equipment, with weapons, with shields, all those fun things. A typical head-to-head card game. Typical is not the right word. They're all unique and different in their own special way, but I do find a head-to-head card game. It's a head-to-head card game. It's Tales Are Real Legacy. We have On the Underground Paris in New York coming as well. This is going to be early July. This is coming to you from Luddy Creations, and if this looks familiar, it's because, yes, they already had a Kickstarter campaign for this. Why should you back this? Well, one of two reasons. Either because you just missed it and you want access to it, or alternatively, this campaign is making the game available to various, I believe it was not available to Europe or something like that. It wasn't available to certain regions last time when it was on Kickstarter. I don't know the exact reasons. I don't know if it's a licensing thing. I don't know why, but this is expanding the opportunities of the regions that it's available to, so you may have not been able to get your hands on this one at the time, and now you should be able to get your hands on the Underground Paris in New York. On the Underground is a fantastic system of trying to make sure passengers get delivered in the most efficient way. The original was like On the Underground London, maybe. The original is an older title. I played it way back in the day as a kid, and I have not actually played the new version from Luddy Creations. Definitely on my list to get around to at some point. I very much enjoyed the system, and they have a bunch of maps and expansions for it at this point. And again, this is available in a bunch of places to get your hands on it. You may not have been able to get your hands in it until now. We have Planet Unknown Supermoon Expansion and Deluxe Edition reprint. And the Supermoon Expansion, basically Planet Unknown is a polyomino game, a simultaneous play polyomino game where you're going to be able to take your turns at the same time, up to 6 players, using a polyomino, a lazy Susan turntable that's going to be rotating around, letting players play all at the same time, and enhancing the speed of play as far as how fast you can actually get this. I mean, again, if you play this game as a 2-player game or as a 6-player game, it's going to be marginally different in terms of the actual how long the game is. I really enjoy the game. It's gotten solid reviews from Dice Tower, from myself, from a bunch of other channels. It is a well-loved polyomino system, and the Supermoon expansion adds stuff. The Supermoon expansion adds stuff. Definitely adds stuff. I don't know what those stuff are, but it adds stuff. New content, new maps, new things, maybe a box that it all fits in. I don't know exactly what the Supermoon expansion adds because there's nothing currently on the page over here. We got nothing. We just got, like, no project story, just a, more details coming soon for this one. And it's coming soon it is, because we have 5 days left to go on this one. This is Planet Unknown, coming to you from Adam's Apple Games. I'm very excited for this one. This is obviously the most popular game by a long shot. And I'm assuming this one, I mean, there's a lot of people who did not get their hands on this the first time round, and now's your chance to do so. We have Coloma New Prospect Expansion and Reprint. This is going to be again launching in 5 days. This is coming to you from Final Frontier Games, and this is again similar to Planet Unknown. This is an expansion and reprint hitting Gamefound. We have Coloma, designed by Johnny Pack-Canton and put up by Final Frontier Games, which is a worker placement rondel system with like a little action rondel in the middle, and you can bust, and you have shootouts, and you have all these different things. You're trying to collect gold. You're trying to be mindful as you build, bridges and waterfalls and all these different things in the game. And then you also wander around the little map over here, trying to move around your caravan, all these things. And then you have the expansion over here, the New Prospects expansion, adding a bunch of modules to the gameplay. We have player board extension, new areas for new things you can do when you bust in the game. We have new decks of cards to integrate. You can have Boomtown tiles on the map, so more things you can put onto your little frontier map in the upper left. New rotating barker tiles in the game, giving you more ways to gain barrels from the outlaws, or alternately busting or intentionally trying to take advantage of busting. A bunch of new modules for the game, as well as an expansion for A Fistful of Meeples. They also put out A Fistful of Meeples, which is a small little Mancala-ish kind of a small little puzzle game, and they're putting out an expansion, a few meeples more, an expansion to A Fistful of Meeples. That's what's coming over here. So we have Coloma, and a reprint and expansion for Coloma launching on Gamefound. We have a Tales of Evil Final Chapter from Escape Studio Games over here. This one's going to be giving you 2 games, an expansion and 2 games, Boogeyman expansion, and Tales of Evil, all coming to you from Escape Studios. The last one, I don't know much about Tales of Evil. I know that the Boogeyman launched on Kickstarter a while ago, has a whole, wandering around this map with your babysitter as you have monsters, trying to take you out over there. And this is going to be an expansion and reprint and Tales of Evil, all launching over on Gamefound. We have Sword and Sorcery Abyssal Legends. This is likely going to be one of the bigger campaigns from what we have over here. And we don't have a ton. We're already halfway through this video and we're 5 minutes into it. It's going to be a shorter update as far as the upcoming campaigns in July. But we have Sword and Sorcery Abyssal Legends. This is going to be the epic climax to the Ancient Chronicles and Immortal Souls campaign. Sword and Sorcery is a fun one. It's a giant dungeon crawler with a lot of AI enemies, a lot of things going on, very complex but very rewarding at the same time. I played the original base game a few times and found that for me it was a little bit too much to manage, which is why I'm actually very excited. The Taboo system, the Taboo who did Bad Karmas, and in fact, they're actually going to be later in this video. The Taboo system supposedly is going to be doing a Sword and Sorcery game. I'm very excited for that one. I don't know if it's still in the plans or not, but if it is, I'm very excited for that. But in the meantime, we have Sword and Sorcery's Abyssal Legends. The journey begins July 11th over on Kickstarter. We have Innovation Ultimate by Carl Shaduk over here. This one is one that is going to be bringing you some form of new innovation version. I'm not sure if it's just expansion content. It's Carl Shaduk's Innovation turned up to 11. Innovation Ultimate is a full box set that has age 11 cards, the base game and each expansion, and a whole new expansion, The Unseen. I think Innovation is a fantastic game, highly recommend it. I've been playing this one since it first came out. I played the yellow version, I played the Asmati version, I currently have the Asmati Deluxe set. You can currently play it on Board Game Arena. Lots of options for this game, but I really enjoy playing Innovation. I like the wide variety of just the cards there are, the expansions, what they add to the game. I haven't even played with the final expansion, or maybe even the last 2. I don't even know how many expansions there are. I have a deluxe box set, but I played with, I think, just the first expansion, and I think that's it. So maybe there's 2 expansions I haven't played with. But nonetheless, I definitely want whatever new is coming out over here. I don't know if they're doing any art updates or any kind, or they're just, saying, hey, more expansion content. I don't know what their plans are, but color me interested in this one. This is going to be launching over on BackKit in 11 days, 9 hours, and 8 minutes from when I'm filming, obviously, not from when you're watching this. We have Quatro City, your interactive storytelling puzzle quest. Take a puzzle, combine it with an escape room, and you have Quatro City. This, I believe, had campaigns over on Gamefound in the past, and they're currently launching over on Gamefound with, they had campaigns over on Kickstarter in the past. They're launching over on Gamefound with, I don't know if this is new content, or I don't know exactly what the difference is from the original war, but we have basically an escape room slash puzzle game kind of experience put together with Quatro City. This is going to be launching over on Gamefound in 11 days, 9 hours, and 8 minutes. Similar to, is that like the exact same? These are down to the second. People like that launch time. We have Stonespine Architects. It's going to be launching over on Kickstarter from the designer and publisher of Cartographers. Stonespine Architects is going to be a dungeon building game. You're going to be drafting cards across 4 rounds of play, slowly building out your dungeon, trying to be mindful of the various goal cards and your personal objective card as you try to figure out the best, most efficient dungeon to build out. Lots of Cartographers DNA into this one, but very, very different. You can see the similarities while feeling very different as you try to juggle different objectives. You're going to have your common goal in play. You're going to have specific objectives you're going for, challenges, and there's like I think it's called goal and challenges. You have your goal card, you have your challenges, you have all these various personal objectives, you have just the way the cards score in general. A ton of things to consider as you try to figure out the most efficient way to become a master architect of your own dungeon in Stonespine Architects, launching over on Kickstarter. We have Hamlet by the Lake, the expansion to Hamlet. Hamlet did phenomenally well over on Kickstarter. This is going to be expansion to Hamlet involving lake tiles and probably other stuff, but lake tiles are going to be little things, little tiles that fit into those little weird shaped regions you're creating, those little gaps that you create as you go through it. And this is an expansion. I'm assuming there's more to it than just lake tiles. I don't know exactly what there will or won't be, but the expansion to Hamlet from Mighty Boys launching on Kickstarter. We have Fire Up, but this is interesting. This says, the browser says, fire up the propane for license to grill. I'm just like reading the browser tab. This is license to grill coming to you from Greater Than Games, and honestly, this is an interesting one. The art does not pull me in on this one. I'm curious how the game will do. I actually had a chance to play this one at PAX East. License to Grill is a polyomino game of trying to gather polyominoes, place them onto your grill, place them onto either the grill, into the cooler, trying to be mindful, spicing them, seasoning them, trying to effectively serve the neighborhood barbecue as you grab polyomino tiles and try to most efficiently get them from what you're selecting, how you're seasoning, and how long you're leaving it on the grill, what the right temperature is it the veggie, is it the meat? You have a bunch of polyomino tiles that you're trying to ultimately bring to the neighborhood barbecue. That's what this game is. The art is not pulling me in, unfortunately. This is coming from Greater Than Games, who generally have absolutely fantastic looking games, and obviously art is subjective, so I'm not sure if it's just a me thing or if it's, I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you think the art is something that is or isn't pulling you in, because I was actually fairly excited about this one as far as the little polyomino puzzle that I had, having played this one, but I played it in the pure prototype phase. I didn't even have this art, and this one, I don't know. I expected different from Greater Than Games. I expect something that was going to, like, you know, pop and have polish and look whatever. And this looks much, it doesn't pull me in. I'll say that. The art does not pull me in. That's Licensed to Grill coming from Greater Than Games over on BackKit. Then we have Wizards & Co. Wizards & Co. from Sinister Fish Games. And this is a fascinating one because Sinister Fish Game, they're famous for Villagers, for Streets, and for Moon. A bunch of specific box sizes that all come in one specific way, one specific type of box. And they're launching a totally different beast over here. They're launching Wizards & Co., which not only is it a full box size, which is already just completely breaking the mold for them, but this is from the team of Italian designers from, I'm going to butcher all these names, from Virginio Gili, Flamino Bassini, Stefano Luperto, and Antonio Tinto. They're designers from Alma Mater, Agizia, many more. There's a bunch of Italian designers that all like kind of work together in different, you know, configurations as they put out different games, from the Tzolk'in games, Tzolk'in, from the T-Series, from Alma Mater, from Coimbra, from Lorenzo Magnifico, all of those games, and a bunch of them are all, you know, present in Wizards & Co., which is fantastic. Again, it's a game that doesn't look like it's from those designers. It's a game that doesn't look like it's from the publisher. The hybrid of it all is fascinating, but I'm definitely interested in it because, I mean, Sinister Fish Games definitely has great production value, and these designers, I mean, Alma Mater and Coimbra and all those games are games that I very much appreciate. Artwork by Miguel Coimbra, speaking of Coimbra. But yeah, that's Wizards & Co. from Sinister Fish Games. Very intrigued to see what this venture into a whole different genre is going to be like for Sinister Fish, and definitely intrigued with it, both thematically, designer, and publisher. All of those things pull me in. Then we have Vampire the Masquerade Milan Uprising from the Taboo system. This is the one I mentioned earlier. Taboo is coming back to the table. They had Bad Karmas and the Curse of the Zodiac, and now they're bringing Vampire the Masquerade to your table with Milan Uprising. This is going to be a story-based adventure, kind of seems to be like you're going to be wandering around the city, making skill checks. It kind of gives me vibes of the Dark Quarter. If you've played the Dark Quarter, or if you've seen the Dark Quarter from Lucky Duck Games, very strongly has those vibes for me as you wander around the board, make different checks, engage in different scenarios or influence to be moved around the board. It seems very intriguing. This can be utilizing the Taboo system, so you're going to have that full board. You're going to put the board down as you move your miniatures, as you roll dice. The Taboo system will fully track all of that for you, but it's going to be Vampire the Masquerade, Milan Uprising, and again, as I said already, definitely very excited for the Sword and Sorcery, assuming they are still doing that one. And then lastly, we have Lands of the Mesozoic over here. This is coming to you from Worthington Games, or more specifically from Pungo Games, a subsidiary of Worthington Games. They just have different focuses of what they're doing. Looks like they're bringing more Euro games as opposed to more war games to the table under their Pungo Games subsidiary. But it's a 1 to 4 player game. 1 to 4 players will create and manage their ecosystem using the land, herbivore, and carnivores of the Mesozoic era. I don't have a ton of information on the actual gameplay on this one, but definitely intrigued. If nothing else, dinosaurs and a publisher that who has a name behind it is already enough of a reason to be paying attention. As far as picks of the week over here, picks of the month I should say, picks of the week is for our Kickstarter, to back or not to back, but picks of the month over here, there's actually a bunch of games that I'm very strongly interested in. On the Underground, yes, Planet Unknown, very much so, Coloma, we have Innovation Ultimate over here, we have Stonespine Architects, a bunch of games over here that are pulling me in, Wizards & Co. As well, so that's another one that's definitely pulling me in over here, but I would say that overall, if I had to pick one, I'm going to pick Planet Unknown, with Innovation Ultimate coming in as a close second. Both of those are games that I know I get tabled, that I know they're accessible, I know they're very easy to dive into. There's something to be said for a game that you actually can sit down and play. And, you know, as much as I'm excited for Coloma or for, I don't know what else it was, Stonespine. Honestly, Stonespine Architects is actually very easy to play as well. Wizards & Co. might have a drop more to it. Either way, I'm going to stick with Planet Unknown as my pick of the month, with Innovation Ultimate taking up a second. But that is what we have as far as our games coming up for July. Like I said already, not an absolute ton right now. Make sure to subscribe to Shelf Clutter if you want the most up-to-date information. There's going to be a lot of things that are added throughout the month, but we are seeing that mid-year dip. Generally around June, July every year, as well as in December, we tend to see a bit of a lull as people start tuning down the crowdfunding campaigns, taking a small break before we see things coasting straight back up again. And this is that, well, dip. It's time for the dip. That's what we're up to. We're up to the dip over here. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Enjoy the light month, assuming it is a light month. Enjoy the light month. Save some money towards the next crowdfunding campaign, or alternatively, just towards, like, I don't know, mortgage, down payment, your student loans, whatever less exciting but possibly more responsible thing there is to do with your money. I recommend that. There's always games to play. There always will be games to play. Granted, Planet Unknown's a good one, and so is Innovation Ultimate. I don't know. Be responsible. Do good things. And until next time, I hope you have a good one.